And I'll just let him take over from here. He's been living largely in solitude.
You can tell.
Nearly afraid to show his face.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful that he's come out of hiding to share where he's at with us here today, bravely and truthfully. And I feel that there's going to be a really powerful message here for all of us. So thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Let's do bingo instead. Oh, I hope I don't bring the night to an end. Give me 2 seconds. What a beautiful day. We don't need to say anything with the sun. That's all. We just need to live it. Thanks. Thank you, and thank you, Claire. For I don't know anybody here, although I do know Ireland. That means I know. Everybody here. And thank you. Your son should be singing that as the national anthem, I think. You need a bit of a boost.
Thank you.
This is a bit of a journey. I guess this day is about honouring men of all nationalities, but I'd say particularly the Irish men today and the women that support them. This is part of my journey, I guess, having hidden out in the wilds for a long time. And the name of the talk, or the speech, is called From Grief to Grace, Healing the Shadow of the Masculine, or at least I'm going to try to anyway. So are you ready? Thank you for the invite, by the way. And thank you whoever's up there and out there. Okay, here we go. On men. Who we are today, with so many lost in a world so dark yet so beautiful. In a world at times that feels leaderless and broken. And yet we live in a planet of miracles, of sheer beauty and awe. We have men, we have the masculine, and we have many grieving in the shadows, in the shade of their full potential, diminished by trauma, by time, by inexpression. I believe the mind of a man, sorry, get up there, will you? I got it. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. I believe the mind of a man should be a temple, a sacred place, protected from the invasion of the pressures of the world. But yet he has to carry burdens both invisible and visible. Some scars that will never heal, and grief that is unaccounted for going back generations. In some ways, the masculine has abandoned himself. He has forsaken his beauty for a machine world that is taking our very essence away. And the women suffer along with them, for men seem to struggle trying to make it home within. And some never make it to shore. Our world is filled with the grief of men, the violence of men, the regret of men, the power and abuse of men. But we have the beauty of men, the care of men, the fathering of men, the warrior men who have cast their mark over the millennia. We seem to have lost the ritual of return. We seem to have lost the growing of the masculine, for he cannot be just left to become. He must be shaped and forged by life itself, by the caretakers of an old fire, by the wisdom of those who have walked in and out of the hell that is within. We men, we ache to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, to take off that mask that constricts our heart and restricts our soul. We ache to be vulnerable in a cold world, to put down the clothes of repression, to rest deeply in the truth of our authentic self, to be home in our hearts. I took this journey several years ago, broken, alone, marriage gone, best friend gone, scarred from a car accident, no home. I had my car, my wounds, but I had Ireland. And into that dark night of the soul, into the field of that place and that word that shakes our foundations, and that's grief. I travelled homeless, living in my car for 6 months, submitting only to Ireland, to this magnificent symphony landscape, in a terrible state of profound loss. And that voice of loss would grow night after night, standing on the Atlantic Ocean's edge, many times feeling alone. I thought, who am I? Where am I? What am I? And like millions of other men, now divorced from an ordinary life, and how those waves and how those poetic rhythms felt dark, coloured by loss. But Ireland is so familiar with grief. And all the seasons flowed inside me. The light sometimes can even feel cruel when grief takes the cold. It can expose your darkness and rub salt into you. So from Donegal to Dingle, from the Burren to Connemara, from Dublin and a myriad of sacred places, both known and unknown, I was led by some old familiar voice. Something so ancient that you do not find in traffic jams or in the voice of a politician. It was the voice of Ireland. Sonorous, prophetic, mysterious, and loving. It spoke to me in a bird song, in the soft ground beneath my tired feet, and the rapture of a murmuration, in the cadence and smile of a stranger that I could swear was speaking comfort to me on behalf of angels to keep me here. I slept in my car, I painted houses, I read poems for other broken souls. I tended my hurt in Ireland with me together. For when one is broken down as a man, I believe there's only one path, and that is to marry nature. Submit your soul to the soil, to the song of all who have walked before you, for the old is the way home. The unknown is a place where you can place your unknown within to join in a union of medicine. What is unseen in the masculine can destroy him, and so many lost to this grief untold. Brothers, fathers, uncles, sons, brave, kind men, quiet-spoken men, trained too well to keep their agony in a cage. And then we suffer because we somehow keep trying to hold on to that which really wants to leave us. No gender is toxic by nature. Masculine and toxicity are not synonymous. There's a curse brought by modernism to break us apart, to divide us further for our own collective beauty. We have forgotten we were kings. We are noble, we are beautiful, and we can be forgiven. We can aim for peace. We can rise on behalf of all of us. Women yearn for men to commune, to truly open their hearts, to honor the divine feminine, but first, he, the man, the boy, the child, the male, must travel deep into the heart of life, of nature itself. To seek, to surrender, to bury the ghosts, and to shed the weight that was never his. This is a poem I wrote called Fathers, for all the men here, the ones that can't be with us. I went to an ocean filled with my father's fears. I went to an ocean filled with my father's tears. I went to a shoreline unbroken in the sun, and there the Father's Father stood joining me as one. For the rapture of the universe was caught in every wave, the ceaseless grief and sorrow that had made me such a slave. Soon the roar of storms above approached the soul-filled caves, and all the Father's fathers started to be saved. Their voices whispered nightly on perfect water foam. In unison they said, "My son, you are the unwritten poem." For this sweat of world betrayal by full of broken men had kept my blood and anger so frozen in the den. So I went upon my knees at the holy ocean brow, and I knew the warrior serpent was standing with me now. So I carved the words anew in sands unwashed by time, and said, now the grief you suffered, Father, will be washed along with mine. No, very old. No, thank you. I knew a very, very old man once. His name was Dan Cronin. I don't know if anyone here has ever heard his name. He was the orator and writer for a place called the Paps of Anu in Rathmore. And when I thought I'd lost everything, I called him up and he said, you're not broken, you're bruised. You're not broken. Nothing's ever broken. It's only passing through. At that moment when all feels lost, when you're injured, then you're ready. We need to celebrate this more, for your vulnerability can be your greatest act of courage. We must remain porous and childlike and open. We must move gently as a whale underneath the storm of our minds, into the reverent places of our soul, where we can all finally meet and rest and heal. For if a man stops and rests, if he reflects, if he walks away, if he puts down his tools, puts away his anger, his fear, his terror and his grief, nobody dies. In fact, a man's grief is not permanent. It is the potential of the reorganization of his entire being. To pull the golden thread of that and restitch the wounds into gold. The wounded male recovered is a treasure to the rest of our tribe. Look at Gandhi, Michael Collins, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, all scarred and trialed by life. And yet, the coal of that was forged into diamond hearts. They led continents and took on empires and restored faith when all seemed lost. Men must not be scared of the poetic or the beautiful or the soft. In fact, it's our softness that helped us here in Ireland survive hundreds of years of being colonised. The softness of our language, our song, our humour, the way we move through the land. I think we must in hard times, in hardship within, become like a blade of grass in a storm, not an oak tree. Now in this world, we must temper our fierceness with kindness. We must remove that inner dictator of burdens and come home. We cannot avoid grief, and at some point we simply cannot voice becoming what it truly means to be a man. We must be like the buffalo in a winter storm. You do not go around it, you walk straight through. The darkness is not endless. It's not an abyss. It's a place of transition, of transcendence. The darkness is actually mid-chrysalis. The butterfly's final ascension is through a tiny hole in the sac. It's so small it seems impossible, but that size of that hole coats the wings so it can fly. There is sadness for so many who never made it and could not sense or see this. But nature will always show you the way home. She always has the right medicine. And Ireland knows. Oh, Ireland knows. She knows. She's always inviting us into healing. So I ask everybody to leave the shoreline of their hurt and look to the distance. And when you can see a bird flight far away, pick a point and follow it. Cast away the nets into the ocean of what you think is eternally broken and trust. And in that storm, tie yourself to the mast of the ship of time. Pull up a sail, stop rowing and hold on. For grief is always moving like a river. Darkness moves like a river. Loss moves like a river, always towards beauty, toward home, towards the miracle of actually being alive here. I believe heaven and hell are one thought away always. The threads of thinking can be our undoing, but the body knows, and the male knows in his cells. The voices of all before him cry out. So everybody sing for all of us, and sing in all the places you weep. Life will hold you. Love will hold you. God will meet you in your most impossibly despairing hour and will wait with you. Because we need men. We need the masculine rising, particularly right now. A man healed begins to heal the world. He changes his past and all of his years will be restored. His natural state is one of grace, one of physical poetry. We can all be heroic. Our inner Cooke, hurly ready to conquer the wolf within. For we once were kings. We, the world, longs for it again. We need the healed masculine to turn our tears into miracles, our despair into action. So I say, dive into the elements of Ireland. Her fire, her oceans, her earth, her air. Tend your body with her gifts and speak from the heart whilst we live. Tell your partner you love her now today. Forgive your father. Love yourself and your son and your daughter without condition. And finally, forgive yourself. We are all wounded, yet we all have grace. Give service, remove your story and lead. You will be held. The world is crying out for change right now. It starts here and it starts now. Because all men yearn to be blessed, and there will always be a space for blessing to come home. From war, from addiction, from abuse, from loss. So bless us all, each of us here, on the line of all fathers and mothers. Ireland has a beautiful people. They may be hurt, but they still shine. Full of potential, full of genius. So for men, for those who are silent alone, you're not alone. And for those who want to come to shore, we are all here. And for those who left too soon, we will all meet one day. From the rivers of our lives into the great ocean world of our knowing, forever blessed. It's the final poem to finish off. This is for those who couldn't make it back. I can still feel your heart. I can see the shape and eyes of you. A perfect pace, a perfect face, and a powerful soul. I can sense in you the quiet valleys of my spirit, and your memories like letters written quietly as I draw breath in my lonely days. You know, I wonder, could you walk with me a while, touch flowers like I do, or marvel at two butterflies chasing each other over a summer-lit ocean wave? Oh, I can feel you, all of you, and so connected to this eternal energy of life. And life after life, for nothing dies. It will all go back into the river of living. A perfect circle, like a perfect sunrise and a perfect sunset. And it ends and begins in grace. And for all the days, and for all the days of you will become the days of me. So amen, and bless you all, and thank you.